From the Cyber Hub bunker and studio, you're tuning in to the Cyber Hub podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
All right, and good morning. Do not adjust your sets. Everything is A-OK. I'm actually filling in today for Mr. James Azar. He's had a family event happening, so we'll just leave it at that. But he called me up, said, James, I need you to fill in for me. And I said, you got it, dude. So here I am. Don't need to adjust your set. I'm just the other James. Mr. Azar is away today. So let's get to it as I, figure out StreamYard and everything here. But, this is one of the great things about being live. So today we've got some great information stories to share with you. Of course, we had Microsoft Patch Tuesday, and we've got some other human errors, incident response stories, some really interesting stuff to share with you today. So good morning from Texas, Houston, Texas, to Marcia. Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll start getting, I know we've got a bunch of folks. Drop in there. Let me know where you're from. It's always good to see how far stretching that we have with this wonderful morning practitioner brief here on Wednesday, October 13th. So James always likes to kick it off, and I know I'm going to continue that tradition of kicking off our podcast today with the ever famous coffee cup cheers. I know Mr. Azar likes to do it with his double espresso with a little bit of foam. Personally, growing up in Canada, I was always partial to Tim Hortons coffee. If you're up in the Northeast of America, or you've ever been to Canada and you've seen a Tim Hortons or been to one, definitely check it out. I love their coffee. Of course, it's not Canadian coffee beans. It's from South America, but it's still good. So anyway, coffee cup cheers to everybody. I appreciate you stopping by today and coming to check out the stories. All right. So let's get to it. Well, hey, there we go. Mr. Rosen, thank you very much, baby Azar. Hopefully I haven't heard from James on that aspect, but I'm sure we're going to hear more about from Baby Watch and everything else. So let's get into today's stories. And of course, yesterday being the second Tuesday of the month, we have our Patch Tuesday. Yesterday, Microsoft released patches for 4 0 days that basically took care of about 71 different vulnerabilities. So looking back to the patches that got released yesterday, one of them deals with the MS snail, the mystery snail that Kaspersky found out basically regarding a particular vulnerability dealing with the NT-GDI reset domain controller. And basically looking through all these 71 different vulnerabilities, certainly worthwhile going through and getting these patched. Of course, there's been, so far in 2021, we've had 73 documented in the wild 0-day attacks. So there's a lot of 0 days that are being discovered that we're seeing. Of course, the biggest one, and it's quietly mentioned here at the end of the article, which I thought was interesting, was, of course, the Exchange server patch with regards to CVE 2021-26427, remote code execution flaw with regards to Exchange. This was discovered by our own NSA. So make sure you've got these on the docket to get through and get patched. We've had some of them dealt with being important. And of course, we had the one critical. 2 of them are being critical. So hopefully looking at getting those implemented through your change management systems this week. Now, I'm really curious, did anybody have 1 week before Microsoft would release a patch for the new Windows 11? That's right, folks. Windows 11's already got its first patch come out. Knowledge base 500-6674 came out with compatibility fixes with regards to the new Windows 11, and lo and behold, it only took a week. So anybody that had the pool going in, or their bingos going in their offices, 1 week was all it took before we got our new patches. Granted, they were doing the beta releases, but now that officially Windows 11 has been released, we're now dealing with these. Basically, this focuses on compatibility issues between some Intel Killer and SmartByte software, Windows 11 original release. Devices with the affected software might drop user data UDP packets under certain conditions. This creates performance and other issues for UDP. Interesting thing about UDP, there's a great joke out there about UDP, and James knows I'm full of dad jokes, but did anybody hear the joke about UDP? Did anybody hear the joke about UDP? And it's great with this medium. I can't hear back, but you can drop comments in the chat. But the fun joke about UDP. So the Windows 11 patches are already out. So hopefully you're going through. Not sure how many organizations are already running Windows 11, but I know a lot of folks have already got it updated on their personal machines. But again, making sure that we keep up with our patches. So not only was it Patch Tuesday yesterday for Microsoft and Adobe and Apple, we saw James talk yesterday about the other Apple patches, the iOS vulnerabilities that were out there. Now SAP is in there as well with regards to some of the critical vulnerabilities they've got in their environmental compliance, dealing with improper authorization within a couple of their apps. But also there is a Chromium update with regards to the SAP business client. Now, SAP being one of the larger platforms that are out there, this one focusing on their environmental compliance systems. But basically, one of the things they noticed was during their Android methods, interaction with activities and other applications could lead to potential phishing attacks. So now we start getting into the human error aspect of it. But all the remaining other notes in SAP's new round focuses on medium severity. So again, making sure we're reviewing these through our change management systems, prioritizing them and looking at where these need to be patched and updated. So it's a busy week with our patch updates. So let's kind of shift focus. One of the things that I deal with on a daily basis is helping the humans. And unfortunately, with regards to the pilots that we have that operate our systems, we end up having systems that go down due to unfortunate human error. And here we have OVH, a European hosting company. Unfortunately, similar to what we experienced last week with Facebook, where the whole BGP routing went down. Here we have OVH had some bad router configurations. They were doing maintenance because of the large number of denial of service attacks that they were getting into their organization. They decided, okay, let's do some updates and changes. But unfortunately, a bad router configuration got passed. And as they stated, following a human error during the reconfiguration of the network of our data center to virtual host, we have a problem on the whole backbone. So human errors do happen. This kind of goes and plays back in with all of our incident response. Granted, sometimes we're not able to recognize or appreciate the various different incidents that we can expect in our systems. But here we go. Here's another one to add to the playbooks. Having router misconfigurations impact the organization. How does everybody react to that? What's part of that playbook, and how do we mitigate the issue from there? Talking about human error and talking about incident response, that kind of brings up this story on Verizon Digital Character Visible. Their customer accounts unfortunately got hacked, but we hear about organizations getting hacked every day, data breaches and data leaks. This one particularly, this organization, what they're coming back with is saying there was no breach. Unfortunately, somebody posted from their organization. Again, now we start dealing with a little insider threat, but somebody posted from within their organization on Reddit earlier in the week that they had an issue. Then they post through Twitter that, hey, we got members reaching us. We're experiencing technical issues with our chat platform, unable to make any changes. We're addressing the issue immediately. Bear with our team as we fix the issue. So, again, this goes back to whatever we've got within our incident response, within our those playbooks, making sure that whatever situation comes up, we know that we're able to go through and take care of it. Of course, one of the things that was missing from there is a two-factor authentication type of access into those systems. We know that all within our security industry, 2FA is great to have, multi-factor authentication, but it's not always our silver bullet. but it's certainly good to have on any accounts that we've got where it contains our personal information. So hopefully with what happens with Visible, they're able to get things corrected, and hopefully whether it was a breach or not, they were certainly dealing with some issues with regards to their infrastructure. So hopefully they get those resolved. All right. So basically, out of today, we're looking at the Microsoft patch updates. Make sure we're going through prioritizing those. Again, we're always dealing with human error. We're always focused on making sure that the humans in our organization are aware, they have that education. And, that way, when it comes to these type of issues, we can be transparent and hopefully provide the proper information to those folks that do support us. Yeah, 404 store not found. Well, apparently that was the case there with that one. All right, so personally want to thank James for entrusting me today and bringing forth the news to everybody. And of course, James isn't able to put this on without the support of the fine folks like you that are watching it, but also with the folks of KnowBe4 and his other sponsors that he has. So I know that he sincerely appreciates all of that. Certainly want to make sure you go ahead, comment, subscribe to, if you're new to visiting this practitioner brief. This happens every Monday through Thursday on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I'm always excited to share the stories with you and let you know what's happening in the world. So hope everybody has a fun Wednesday. Stay safe out there, and hopefully we'll have some new news coming from Mr. Azar. If not, then I will definitely see you all tomorrow. So not only do you need to stay safe and secure out there, but make sure you inspire and stay safe out there yourselves. Everybody have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.